What if the last person anyone saw Ariana with was the one who convinced everyone to look in the wrong direction? A bright Virginia afternoon. A silver SUV pulls away from a quiet neighborhood with a smiling couple inside. Neighbors wave. Only one of them will ever return. Saturday, 2:18 p.m. Hudson Pierce told his wife they deserved a quiet afternoon together. No work. No phones. Just a peaceful drive to the next town. After years of marriage, Ariana Bennett Pierce smiled and agreed. To everyone watching, it looked like a husband making time for the woman he loved. No one knew that the invitation would become the final decision Ariana would ever make. Married 6 years. Their story hadn't begun with secrets. Years earlier, Ariana and Hudson had fallen in love at a Virginia university. They built a life together after graduation. But one friendship never disappeared. Roman Ellis. Roman had been Ariana's closest friend since college. The friendship survived graduation, careers, and even marriage. Roman was welcomed into their home for dinner. They laughed over old campus memories. Ariana never believed friendship needed permission. Hudson never admitted how deeply it bothered him. At first, it was only silence. Then came short answers. Then forced smiles whenever Roman's name appeared. Ariana believed the tension would fade with time. She was wrong. One friendship. One marriage. One breaking point. On that Saturday morning, Hudson suggested they drive somewhere quiet. He said they needed uninterrupted time together. Ariana thought it sounded perfect. She left home expecting to come back before dinner. She never imagined that someone else would decide she wouldn't. And before the sun set over Virginia, someone would begin telling a story that investigators would later discover wasn't true. 6:47 p.m., Ariana never returned. Hudson walked into the sheriff's office looking worried. He told detectives Ariana had gone out to meet Roman Ellis after they spent part of the afternoon together. According to Hudson, she wanted to clear her head. He insisted he dropped her off and drove home alone. The timeline sounded simple. Almost too simple. Detectives contacted Roman within hours. Roman didn't hesitate. "I never saw Ariana today." His phone records supported him. So did his work schedule. Someone wasn't telling the truth. Main suspect? Roman Ellis. Rumors spread quickly across the community. People questioned Roman's friendship with Ariana. Some believed Hudson. Others weren't convinced. Then detectives noticed something unsettling. Hudson never asked whether Ariana had been found. He kept asking whether investigators had spoken to Roman. It was a small detail, but it didn't sound like a husband searching for his missing wife. It sounded like someone waiting to see if his story had been believed. But one detail didn't add up. 3 days later, a witness walked into the sheriff's office. And with one statement, the entire investigation changed direction. The woman who walked into the sheriff's office wasn't looking for attention. She was there because she couldn't stop thinking about one ordinary moment. Her name was Ruby Collins. She told detectives she had seen Hudson and Ariana leave together that Saturday afternoon. Not Ariana and Roman. Hudson and Ariana. She remembered because they looked like any married couple heading out for the weekend. That single memory shattered Hudson's version of events. Ruby Collins. Detectives immediately compared Ruby's statement with Hudson's interview. The two stories couldn't both be true. If Hudson had lied about the last person with Ariana, what else had he lied about? Investigators requested additional surveillance footage along the route the couple had taken. They weren't looking for a confession anymore. They were looking for proof. Then another piece of evidence appeared. It placed Hudson's vehicle exactly where he insisted it had never been. And the case suddenly became far more than a missing persons investigation. Detectives followed the route Hudson claimed he never took. Traffic cameras captured the silver SUV heading toward the next town. There was no sign of Roman. Only Hudson. Only Ariana. His story was falling apart. Digital investigator Miles Donovan mapped the vehicle's movements. The SUV stopped for nearly 40 minutes on a quiet stretch of road. Hudson had never mentioned that stop. He couldn't explain it. Every answer created another question. Detectives returned to the roadside. They searched every inch of the area. Then they found something that shouldn't have been there. An item belonging to Ariana. It proved she had been there, but she had never left on her own. The investigation had changed forever. Hudson returned for another interview. This time, detectives didn't begin with questions. They began with evidence. Ruby's statement, the traffic camera footage, the vehicle timeline. One by one, the facts erased his story. Hudson insisted he loved Ariana. He denied hurting her. But every explanation conflicted with the evidence already in front of investigators. The room fell quiet. Detective Wesley Turner asked one question Hudson couldn't answer. If you told us Ariana left with Roman, why does every piece of evidence show she never left your side? Hudson looked down. He had no answer. Outside the interview room, search teams made a discovery that would change the case forever. The search ended in silence. Hidden beyond the roadside, investigators found Ariana's body. The peaceful drive Hudson had promised had become the place where her life ended. There were no more questions about whether she had come home. She never had the chance. The search is over. The evidence from the scene matched the route detectives had reconstructed. Hudson's version of events collapsed. Roman was no longer under suspicion. He had been blamed for a crime he never committed. Roman cleared. Detectives arrested Hudson. The husband who reported Ariana missing was now the man accused of killing her. The ride he described as a chance to reconnect had become the strongest evidence against him. The courtroom was silent as the jury returned. Guilty. Hudson Pierce was convicted of murdering his wife, Ariana Bennett Pierce. The lie he told to protect himself had collapsed under witness testimony, digital evidence, and the truth investigators refused to ignore. Justice for Ariana. Roman Ellis sat quietly in the courtroom. He had lost a lifelong friend. Ariana's family had lost a daughter, a wife, and a future that could never be replaced. One decision, one jealous heart, destroyed countless lives. Justice doesn't erase loss. Ariana trusted the person she loved most. She believed she was taking a peaceful drive. Instead, it became her final journey. Her story is a reminder that the truth may be delayed, but it can still find its way into the light. If this story moved you, subscribe to The Veil of Secret for more gripping true crime stories that honor victims, uncover hidden truths, and bring forgotten cases back into the light.